Ringo TV reactions, commentary, criticism, and teaching. Let's go. So, continuing on with our last video, we were talking about Kimora. The video pretty much went into an entire teaching on the understanding of seed, where you come from, and so forth. A lot of people don't understand basic biology. A lot of people have a lot of trouble understanding that they come from the seed of their father. A lot of times people believe that, I come from my mom. Yeah, you came from the womb, but you come from the seed of your father. That's where you come from. So we want to take you on a journey. We want to bring about more information to make you understand something. A lot of the people in today's culture that you would say is black are not really black. They're not. And I want to make this very clear, so I put together 3 example videos to illustrate my points. And my hope is that somehow you're able to comprehend and learn something from this so that you can walk away from the class and understand who you are rather than being confused. Now, a lot of you know Faith Evans. You've seen her with Biggie and all this other stuff. A lot of you would say, oh, she's a black woman. Well, she's not. She's not. You have to go do your research. You got to go find out who her father is. That's how you know who she really is. You see, just because you have a mother who is quote unquote black does not mean you're black. That's not how it works. That doesn't represent the truth. The truth is you are of the seed of your father. That is who you are. You understand? I'm pretty sure you've seen these other ladies that are on the screen. You all watch The Color Purple. I'm pretty sure you've seen that young lady right there standing next to, who is that guy? What was his guy name? Who was Harpo? I don't know who was Harpo. Was that the mean guy, or was that the guy that's on the screen? I don't know. I forgot. That was many years ago. But you remember her, the young, light-skinned woman. You remember her? A lot of times people back then, they were like, she's a black woman. Well, that's not true. Nope, it's not true. Nope, she's actually Caucasian. And see, a lot of people, they don't know that. And then you have the young lady right there with her mom and dad. Yeah, that's right. Her mom and dad. Let me see. I think her name is Tyra or Tara. I believe her name is Tara. And come to find out, her father is Iranian. Yeah, that's right. Her father is Iranian. But yet, people will say, hey, she's a black woman. No, she's Iranian. Right? See, the purpose of the class is to teach so that people can understand who they are. And it just bogs my mind when people don't understand the basics of life. Like in my last stream, a lot of people were confused. They didn't know who they were. They didn't know nothing. And even though I showed them the basics, they just couldn't comprehend. And I'm like, wow, it's amazing. So, again, all these individuals that you see on the screen, all of them have Caucasian fathers. All of them. Except the black guy that you see. I think his name is Harpo in the movie. I'm not sure. But all the females, all of them have Caucasian fathers. And, here's another interesting fun fact. Let me see if I can bring this into the video. Kimora Lee. Yeah, that's right. Kimora Lee. Yeah. interesting subject, right? A lot of you look at Kimora Lee and you figure, okay, that woman is Asian, Japanese, and all this other stuff, and sounds interesting, right? But when we study and we do our due diligence, because I actually read and study, it says that Kimora Lee is of Black, Korean, and Japanese heritage. Now, a lot of times people don't understand anything when they talk about heritage because they don't know what they're talking about. They just say that. The truth of the matter is most people don't even know what heritage mean. They don't even have a culture because they don't even study nothing, nor do they practice anything. They just kind of just exist. Most people don't even know their languages, but they claim all of these different ethnicities that they don't even live by, nor do anyone else claim them. But we have to study. So it goes on and it says, in an article for Working Mother, she wrote, I was a loner growing up. I was a mixed race girl. Now, here we go with that mixed race thing. There's no such thing as mixed. You can't mix a race. There's no such thing as that. Nope. It's not even possible. Nope. Nada. It's not possible. You can't do that. So she goes on. She says she's a mixed race girl with a Korean/Japanese. Now, you can't be Korean/Japanese at the same time. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You're either Korean or Japanese. There is no mixing of Korean and Japanese. That it don't work like that. You're one or the other, right? So she's saying that her mother was Korean/Japanese, which makes no logical sense. Then she says her father, African American, which makes no sense because you can't be African and American at the same time. Makes no sense. Right? But for all intents and purposes, we'll say that her father is a Black man. Right? So now, if Kimora Lee's father is a Black man, she don't go around identifying as a Black woman. She don't. She do not go around identifying herself as a Black woman. I never heard that before. If you heard that, let me know. I don't recall her ever saying that she's a Black woman. I just need to know. Maybe you know more than me. But my point is this. She identifies Korean and Japanese. That's what she identifies as. But her father is a Black man. So why isn't she going around saying that she's a Black woman? Again, what we're trying to do is give you an understanding of basic biology, ethnicity, bloodline, so that you can know the basics. Because a lot of times people don't understand. Kimora Lee is in fact a Black woman. Whether she identifies as one or not, her father is a Black man. So she would be a Black woman by bloodline, period. There's no way around that. Do you understand? So the reason why we have to bring up all of this is because in the last stream, we were talking about Tia Mowry and how she was talking about her hair. And for some odd reason, it went from hair into ethnicity, bloodline, biology, and various other concepts. So a lot of you've listened to Faith Evans' music. You know that she is a baby mama of Biggie or something along them lines. And you identified her as a Black woman, but she's not a Black woman. You know what I mean? Based on my research, her father is Italian. Yes, that's right. Italian. So she's not a Black woman. Her father is Italian. Do you understand that? Tia Mowry is going around claiming that she's a Black woman. But as we learned in our last stream, we brought out her father. And it's very clear that her father is, in fact, Caucasian. So she's not a Black woman. And a lot of people were trying to refute the facts by saying, no, she's a Black woman because her mother is Black. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. So I put together a little video to kind of educate the masses. And I know that even though I show you these 3 examples, you're still not going to get it, because some people, you just can't teach them anything because they're delusional. And that's just the way they will always be, right? So let me go into this particular clip and kind of break this thing down. I'm just gonna let the video play and let it do what it do. And I kind of edit these videos backwards. For some odd reason, I must have put them backwards. I put video 1 first, and then video 3 came in, and then video 2 came in. So if it's backwards, it is what it is. That's just the way I set it up in the timeline. I had no idea, but I just kind of threw it together and just exported the file one time from my iPhone. So, and keep in mind, I went and did this little example clip right after my last stream, because it's crazy how a lot of people don't understand the basics of life. Now, again, if you see the young lady in the middle there with her mother and father, she have a black mom and her father is Iranian. You understand? Iranian. Her father is Iranian. But yet, a lot of people will say, no, she's a black woman. Ringo, you're wrong. She's a black woman. No, she's not. She's Iranian. That is her nationality. That is who she is. Doesn't matter about how she look. Well, we're dealing with bloodline. She is the replica of her father, and there's no way around that. You cannot deny that. She's the offspring of her father, period. Her mom is just a vessel by which she was brought into the world, but she is the result of her father. There is no way around that. To deny that is to deny the facts. Do you understand me? And that's the same thing we were trying to bring out concerning Tiamari, and a lot of people were in their fifis because they don't understand the basics. Just like I said, with this young lady from the movie Color Purple. All of you loved her in the movie. All of you assumed, okay, she's a black woman. Well, she looked like a black woman, but her father is actually Caucasian. So based on biology, she is Caucasian because she comes from the bloodline of a Caucasian man, period. You cannot deny that. These are the facts. Again, you cannot change facts by feelings. You got to bring out the facts. So let's get into this particular video here so that I can kind of break this thing down, shall we? So let's take a listen to this. You're going to hear my voice switch up because obviously I'm talking to you live right now, but I'm going to show you a pre-recorded video that I made that I'm going to add into the stream. So let's check this out. Let's go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing right here is a basic test of Biology 101. Simple as that. Biology 101. On this side here, what we have is regular H2O. I think most of you know that as water, right? On this side, we have bleach. That's right, 100% bleach. This water represents a woman. This is her womb with water, right? This is the man's seed. This represents the seed of a man. Now pay attention to this point right here. I have a black shirt, a cloth, whatever you want to call it. I have that there for a reason, to show you something very important. The black shirt, the water, represents a black woman, right? Okay. She's with a white man. Perfectly normal, right? Okay. But now she has a child. A lot of people would say, well, I'm black. My mom is black. No, not necessarily. Let's find out from the video. Let's run it back from the top. Let's go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing right here is a basic test of Biology 101. Simple as that. Biology 101. On this side here, what we have is regular H2O. I think most of you know that as water, right? On this side, we have bleach. That's right, 100% bleach. This water represents a woman. This is her womb with water, right? This is the man's seed. This represents the seed of a man. Now, what I'm going to show you is that when a man plant his seed in a woman, the woman take on his DNA to bring forth the child. That is what happens. When the man plant his seed, there is no mixing. No, you become that of your father's seed. Your nationality come from your father. That is who you come from. So what we're going to examine and learn is that when you take this cup of bleach and you pour it into this water, this bleach will become what's in this cup here. If I was to take this cup of water and pour it right on this shirt right here, right? Notice that color on that shirt remained the same. Which mean that the shirt didn't change because the water represents the black woman. See, the black woman is a black woman. So her water is pretty much who she is. But now, if you mate with a white man and you bring forth a child, your child represents the seed of the father. That's just pretty much how it goes. You understand? If you're a black woman and you mate with a Caucasian man or an Asian man, and you bring forth a child, your child is Asian. Period. There's no way around that. That's biology. Let's go. Which means that color that is in this cup, which is clear, regular H2O, is not effective on that shirt. But now, when you take this man and you put him with this woman, and they have a seed, meaning that he plant his seed in this woman like that, something happens now. Now, that seed is in that woman. And something happens mysteriously, right? And this is where you get your nationality from. This is where you get your bloodline from. There is no mixture. There is no nothing. In all actuality, you become who your father is. So now when you take this cup and you pour that on that shirt, let's see what happens. Leave that right there and let it do what it need to do. And let's see what happens. Put this cup back over here, because what we want to find out is exactly what takes place and to see who's correct when it comes to biology. Because what you're going to learn is that the woman took in the seed of the man, and now the child is going to become what the father is. It's not the other way around. And as you can see, based on the shirt, it's very apparent that it is changing color. Why? Now you see, ladies and gentlemen, one cup had water, which represents the womb of a woman. The woman in question would be a black woman, but she got with a white man. She mated with him, took on his seed, took in his DNA. And based on the fact that he planted his seed in her, in her womb, notice now when we put the bleach into the water, all of a sudden the water is now bleach. Are you paying attention in class? And when you poured it on the shirt is no longer black. It now changed from black to another color. Or should we say another nationality? Are you paying attention? Let's get back to the class. Because the water is non-effective at this point. The bleach overpowers the water. And now we see the results. The results is that the child or the offspring is that of the father. And this is something a lot of people have a hard time understanding. And my hope is that through this little illustration, you will learn. You are of your father's seed. It doesn't matter how much water you put into this cup. When you put bleach into that cup of water becomes one with that bleach. And that bleach will still do its job, which means the DNA from your father is what you carry. Doesn't matter what your mom is. Your mom is just a vessel by which you can be born from, but you are of your father's seed. So that being said, I hope that this little illustration shows you exactly what goes on. Now, with that particular illustration right there, it's very clear. And you know what's so funny? There are people that will still be in denial. You know why? They're delusional. Some people you're unable to help. No matter what you tell them, they will remain blind. Now, this is supposed to be the third video. So what I'm going to do is try to get to my point right here. We'll deal with that in a second. I should have just let it just play automatically rather than going through. So we'll just go there and start it. Let me see where we at. Yeah, a lot of times people are going to still be in denial about the facts. And this is why in my last stream, when I said that Tia Mowry is not a black woman, she's Caucasian. And I don't know why people have a problem with that. It's like her father's Caucasian. How are you going to deny who she is? You know, her father is Caucasian. It is what it is. So let me see. Let me get back to the points that I'm making. Let's go. Shows you exactly what goes on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is our third example of understanding basic biology and the seed of a man. Now, what is this? Mimi, I don't know what your name is. Your question is what? If the woman doesn't matter. So first of all, you need to understand how to listen. I think you have selective hearing. Are you paying attention in class? Have you watched the last live stream? See, if you didn't do none of those things, you're wasting your time asking questions in class to the teacher, and you're being disruptive. So now I'm going to try to respond to you, and I'm going to be pretty brief because I don't have time to waste because I'm teaching a class, right? You're asking if the woman doesn't matter. First of all, nobody said that a woman don't matter and she's not even important. The problem is you have selective hearing. A woman don't carry no seed. She's a ground. You understand how to farm? You understand how to grow apples and oranges? Well, let me explain the basics to you. You need good soil, fertile soil to plant seeds. Do you understand that? Do you comprehend that? Okay, a woman's womb is like that ground. She's just a ground. That's all she is. She don't matter because she don't carry no seeds. The man do. The man carries the seed. He is the one that matters because your child's nationality is determined by the seed of the man you lay with. I'm speaking very clear. I don't know why people are having a hard time understanding. I don't know, maybe there's a language barrier or something. But you're trying to turn this into if the woman doesn't matter, as if though nobody cares about the woman. That's not what we're talking about. Again, you have selective hearing. You hear what you want to hear, which is always something negative, never positive. Now, the reason why the woman don't matter is because she's not a seed, nor does she carry seed. The important thing is the man. The man determines the nationality, not the woman. Do anybody understand basic biology? I'm talking to adults or am I talking to children? Am I talking to adults or am I talking to children? If the woman doesn't matter, why then does the child take on characteristics of the mother? People, are y'all reading the things that these people are posting? What does the characteristics of a mother have to do with the nationality of a child? I'm telling you, People are gone. People are gone, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know that your child can come out of your womb, have the characteristics of her mother, the characteristics of her father, and the characteristics of other children she play with in school? What are you talking about? What does your comment have to do with the nationality and bloodline of a child? You're talking about the characteristics. You can pick up the characteristics of anybody. It's called being influenced. You can get around other people and they can influence your character. That is how we determine someone having good character or bad character. What in the world are you talking about? Listen, this is why when you're in a classroom, it's good to stay quiet. Because that's how you learn, when you stay quiet. You're not making no sense at all. Then why do the child take on the characteristics of the mother that have nothing to do with nationality, that have nothing to do with bloodline? That makes no sense. Who cares about that? Who cares about characteristics? Who cares about facial features that have nothing to do with nationality? And it's clear to me that the majority of the population are delusional. And this is why nobody know who they are today. The questions that I see in the comments, man, it literally make my eyes pop out, because I'm like, wow. So you have no clue what nationality is, culture, bloodline. You base a person on their characteristics? Fam, you can send your children to a public school and your child can come home acting like a crazy kid. You're wondering, who told you those words? Why you're acting like that? They're acting like other students in school. That's characteristics. And hey, this is why I realized that even on social media, I don't know if you noticed this, ladies and gentlemen, it seemed like people are more likely to watch content that actually dumbs them down. Whenever you deal with content that actually elevate their mind and their thought, for them, it's boring. I'm not entertaining enough, Ringo. Could you entertain me enough? Entertain me. I need to be entertained in order for me to watch. Why? Because their mind is low. They're on a low frequency. They don't understand the basics of biology. It's crazy stuff when you really think about it. But let me get back to my point. This is supposed to be the third video, right? But we're watching it right now. This cup right here represents Tiamari's father, right? This has nothing to do with white or black in terms of, oh, this is black or this is this or it's a dark color. This has nothing to do with melanated skin. This has to do with the seed of a man. This represents the womb of a woman, right? Clear water, right? What we're trying to understand is that you come from the seed of your father. There is no way around this. Your mom, she have no seed. She have nothing there. There is no mixture. There is no biracial. There is no, oh, I'm mixed. There is nothing else here being added to the water. So how can you say you're mixed? It makes no sense. In order for it to be mixed would mean we would have this right here with this to pour in there to mix. That's not the case here. So we have to stop being illogical. Rebel for Almighty, why are you saying turn up the volume for? Why are you saying turn up the volume? Put a 1 in the chat if the volume is good, because the volume is good on my end. I don't got no time for the distractions. So to the mods, don't post in the chat, turn up the volume when the volume is perfect. All right? So the volume is good. Let me get back to the thing. Let me pull it back to the top again. Because the moderator is just posting stuff that makes no sense and it's pissing me off. Seriously. I don't care who you are. Don't interrupt the stream with nonsense. This is our third example of understanding basic biology and the seed of a man. Now, this cup right here represents Tiamari's father, right? This have nothing to do with white or black in terms of, oh, this is black or this is this or it's a dark color. This have nothing to do with melanated skin. This have to do with the seed of a man. This represents the womb of a woman. Why is this person saying attacking women? What in the world's wrong with these people, man? I just got to get these people out of here, man. These people crazy, man. Like, seriously. Person coming in here talking about attacking women. What is the matter with these people? Are you folks seeing how people have selective hearing? Am I the only one that is watching the madness that's going on in the chat room? I'm going to end up turning off the chat and just do the show without the chat. How about that? How about I just turn the chat completely off? That way no one can comment. Because it's like people are hearing what they want to hear. They're hearing what they want to hear. How in the world could you come in here and say, I'm attacking women? Who have I attacked? What is the matter with these crazy people? I'm telling you, people are crazy. People are crazy today. And this is why the majority of our women have no husband. Literally, no husband whatsoever. Because they cannot stand to even listen to hear the truth. You understand? I'm trying to teach. We got some troll talking about he's attacking women. What woman have I attacked when all I'm doing is teaching biology? I'm telling you, man, brothers, when I tell you that when it comes to dating and relationships, when I tell you to focus on God, bro, focus on your health, then focus on your money and leave women alone, I'm serious, bro. I'm serious. Because you can't teach them nothing. Listen, brothers, do you know I used to have a channel that was dedicated just to women? Do you know that? Do you know I used to have a channel that was dedicated to only women called Black Female Advice TV? Only for women. Every topic, every video, everything was targeted towards women only to build women up. And guess what I did to that channel? I shut it down. I turned it off completely. You know why? You can't teach them nothing, bro. You can't teach them nothing, bro. Listen. You cannot teach these people nothing, bro. Because all they do is become distractions, delusional, and they just make things up as they go. And it just makes it bad for all of the women. And guess what? When I shut down the platform, all the women were coming to me in my DMs. What happened to the channel? What happened to the channel? You know what happened to the channel. I shut it down because you don't appreciate it. You don't appreciate nothing. You don't want to learn nothing. If you want to be dumbed down and you don't want to learn, then hey, fine. Be dumbed down. Because it's a waste of time. It really is a waste of time. You understand? Well, I don't even know why the moderator said that. And I'm going to make some decisions soon where I'm going to start taking away these damn wrenches. Seriously. Because that pissed me off earlier. Really. It seriously did. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be taking away wrenches. So if you're a moderator and you notice that a wrench is gone, please note why that happened. Please note why that happened. It happened because you're disrupting the class. And because of your disruptions, it's causing other trolls to respond. You understand? And see, this is why a lot of times when men try to teach, they only focus on teaching the brothers. And we just don't even waste our time teaching the ladies nothing because y'all don't want to hear nothing. It's like, what are we wasting our time for trying to educate you about anything? I could just focus on these brothers and teach them. Forget about you because you don't want to hear nothing. You're not trying to listen. You see? If you have a problem with the truth, leave. Seriously. If you have a problem with the truth, leave. It's just that simple. Why do you come here if you're not trying to learn? He gonna learn today. Let me get you out of here. Waste of time. And I'm taking away wrenches. Taking away wrenches today. Today, I'm taking away wrenches. One moderator has been removed. Do not DM me about anything regarding why your wrench was moved. I am not playing. Only moderators that's going to be here is moderators that are on point, straight up and down. Now, let me see who else I got to remove, because I'm not playing games. Let me see who else I need to remove, because here I am trying to teach, and I'm having all these distractions from the moderator, distractions from people in chat, because nobody ain't trying to learn. A lot of people want to stay in the matrix. A lot of people don't want to elevate their minds. So I'm going to make people understand that I'm not here to play games with you. If you're not here to learn nothing, why are you watching the content? If you want to stay in limbo land, then stay where you are and stop watching the stream, because you're not trying to learn anything. So let me get back to the top and continue. To all moderators, if you find out that you don't have a wrench, you know why. Rewind the video and understand. I'm no respecter of persons. Once you violate or do anything, you're up out of here, straight up and down. No time to play. Let me get back to what I'm doing here. Let's go. Example of understanding basic biology and the seed of a man. Now, this cup right here represents Tiamari's father, right? This have nothing to do with white or black in terms of, oh, this is black or this is this or it's a dark color. This has nothing to do with melanated skin. This have to do with the seed of a man. This represents the womb of a woman, right? Clear water, right? What we're trying to understand is that you come from the seed of your father. There is no way around this. Your mom, she have no seed. She have nothing there. There is no mixture. There is no biracial. There is no, oh, I'm mixed. There is nothing else here being added to the water. So how can you say you're mixed? It makes no sense. In order for it to be mixed would mean we would have this right here with this to pour in there to mix. Now, a lot of times when people are talking about their ethnicity and various other things, they love to say, well, I'm mixed, I'm biracial, I'm mixed, and so forth. The only way that can happen is if you mix seeds. There's no mixing of seeds here. There's only one seed entering the woman, so there's no mixing. You can't mix with anything in a woman. A woman is a fertile soil. There's nothing to mix. It's just you, the man, your seed entering her womb. There is no mixing. Do you understand basic biology? I find that a lot of people in this culture are willingly ignorant of the truth, and they would just rather live in a lie. This is why I'm going to limit teaching on information that actually help women. I'm going to limit that. That's going to be very limited. I'm not going to really focus on those type of things. I'm going to focus more on the topics that focus on men regarding women, to empower the men so that they can understand. Because what I realize with a lot of women, they don't want to hear anything. It's like you try to teach them and they fight you as you teach. And I don't got time for that. Like, why are you here? It makes no sense, because then you might have women that want to learn and you messing it up for the woman that want to learn. Because I got to deal with the trolls. I got to deal with trolls. I got to deal with all sorts of nonsense in the chat. And I'm like, look, if you don't want to learn nothing, leave. It's just that simple. Leave. What are you here for? You're wasting your time. You see what I mean? That's just how it goes. So getting back to the point of the topic, because people think that I'm a robot and that I'm not human. Try coming online, try being a content creator, dealing with people in a chat room and everybody just crazy. And this is what you got to see all the time. and people not paying attention and posting stupid comments and crazy questions. And they are disregarding the truth. They're avoiding facts. They're not even focused on basic biology. They ignore it. And instead, they base everything on their feelings. Imagine dealing with people like that every single day. And tell me exactly what you would be doing. Don't tell me you would have a smiling face and you'll be just so happy and have such good energy. No, you're going to be blocking and removing people because they're disrupting what you're doing. I'm trying to teach you folks so that you can understand, so that you're not blind, because the world want to blind you and keep you in the dark, right? So now let me get back to the point. That's not the case here. So we have to stop being illogical and be logical in our understanding. So now let's take this right now and add it to the mix so that we can mix this thing together. Now, again, what is the point that I'm making here? The point is, when we look at the last stream with Kimora, she identifies as a black woman when she's not. She's Caucasian. Her father is a Caucasian male. She comes from his bloodline, his seed. That is who she is. That's a fact. That's not a myth. It's a fact. It cannot be denied, right? So I'm using this example to further make us become aware of how things work. You're not mixed. You're not a mix. There's no such thing as being mixed. That makes no sense. I don't know where we get this madness from. You're not mixed. Your mom wasn't with 20 different guys. She was with one man. That's how you were brought in the world. You're not mixed. You have one father, one bloodline, one nationality. You don't mix with anything. There's no mixing. You know what I mean? Don't tell me you're half Asian, half Japanese, half Chinese, half Portuguese. Do you speak all those languages? No. So please stop. Have you visited all of those countries? Please stop. Do you understand the cultures, the heritage, and everything else of all these different nationalities that you're claiming? Please stop. Please just stop. You understand? Let's just get down to the basics, right? This is what we want to do. So we're going to pick this and pour this into here and go like this and see what happens, right? Because again, we're trying to figure out, are you of your father's seed? So now, when you pour the seed into the woman, this is what you get. You get the DNA of the father. This is what you get. That's exactly what you get. The DNA of your father. You take on his nationality. You don't get anything in terms of, oh, I'm mixed. No, you take on the DNA of your father. You are the bloodline of your father's seed. You see that? There is no mix because this is just water. So there's nothing mixed. You still get the same material. You no longer see anything of the mom because you are the result of your father. There you go. This is something a lot of people have a hard time understanding. See, all we did is pour the seed from one vessel into the next. That's all we did. Because again, if you understand her, her father is Iranian. Are you looking at this? Her father on the screen is right next to her. He's Iranian. His child is his bloodline. Do you understand? His child is his bloodline. Period. I don't care how you see it. There's no way around that. You cannot walk around and say, well, I'm a black woman. No, you're not. You're Iranian. Represent who you are and stop being ashamed of who you are. Do you understand? Stop being ashamed of who you are because it makes no sense. You're Iranian. That is who you are. The mom, yes, she's a black woman, but the father is Iranian. That's who she is in the middle. So when she walks around town and she tell people, who am I? She's supposed to say, I'm Iranian, and be proud of who she is. I'm Iranian. That's it. Let's get back into the class. Now what do we got? We got a situation where now the bloodline of the father is in the child. And now this is you, a representation of your father. Simple to understand. Notice that. You pour the material into the water, it turns into the same material of the father. It's not the same as the mother anymore. So why do people keep identifying by their mother? That makes no sense. That doesn't make any sense. I find that a lot of people are ashamed of their dads. Are you ashamed of your father? And see, for a lot of us, we've been taught to be ashamed of our father because we were raised in a single mother home, or perhaps our mom, had a relationship with a man and he left when she was young. Matter of fact, if you just look at, what's this lady? Kimora Lee? Let me see. I think it's Kimora Lee. If you look at Kimora Lee, let me see if I can pull this up. Kimora Lee is a black woman. A lot of black women would fight against that and say, no, she's not. She's Asian. She's Japanese. She's not a black woman, Ringo. You're wrong. No, you're wrong because you don't read. According to this right here, when you do your research, she says, I was a mixed race girl with a Korean Japanese mother and an African American father. African American father. Now, understand that African American is just a word they put together to identify so-called black people because they never identify us for who we really are based on the Bible in terms of being an Israelite. So they call us African American. How can you represent two different continents? Doesn't make any sense. None of you folks that are in America that claim that you're African American can call Africa, right? And say, hey, where are my family relatives in Africa? None of them will claim you. So that's a lie. None of you have relatives over there that will claim you. That's a fact. Again, get on the phone right now and call Africa up and say, hey, I'm African American and I want to know who's my family out there. You don't know anybody over there. This is what they put on you to hide your true identity in terms of being an Israelite. So now Kimora Lee is the result. Now, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be something interesting. You're not ready for this one. How many of you, with a show of a one, have been hearing, I guess, something online called passport bros? Passport bros. Passport bros are these clowns that go fly overseas to have relations with foreign women because they're mad with black women in America. Right? So these losers, they get passports because they can't get women in America. Right? So in case you don't know what is a passport bro is a loser, right? The type of male that he could be either black, white, it doesn't matter. He can't get women in America. So what he do is he live on social media and all he talk about is how bad women in America are. And they have this movement going on social media called passport bros. And they travel overseas not to find a wife, not to build families, not to have children, but to sleep around with women. Kimora Lee is the results of that. Somebody say, how do you know that? Let's read. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that she's the results of that. Because a lot of these guys, they love to travel to Korea. They love to travel to China. They love to travel to Japan. It says that Kimora Lee Simmons is of Black, Korean, and Japanese heritage. In an article for Working Mother, she wrote, I was a loner growing up. I was a mixed race girl with a Korean Japanese mother and an African American father. And none of the other kids at my school were like me. I was nearly 6 feet tall by the time I was 11. And I was an only child. Listen, an only child being raised by a single mother. Are you listening? So, she was an only child raised by a single mother. Why she wasn't married? Why wasn't Kimora Lee's mother married to this black man? Because the black man that she got married to, or that she had a child with, wasn't really with her to be with her. He was just a passport bro who just went overseas to get with these women. Because remember, the passport bro movement didn't just now start. It'd been going on since the 90s, even the 80s. Men would travel overseas just to mix mingle with women, and they would get these women pregnant overseas. And then these guys, because they don't want the responsibility of child support, taking care of a child, raising a family, they come back to America and they leave women overseas pregnant. That's basically what happened in Kimora Lee's situation. Her mom was a single mom, and because of this, she ended up being raised by herself, and she was confused the whole time. So when you see Kimora Lee in today's day, she don't identify as a black woman. She identifies as Korean. In terms of being Japanese and so on and so forth, we saw her with the Simmons guy, Russell Simmons. He had her doing like some clothing line or something. I don't know if she still does that stuff, but I'm not sure what it was called. Fat Farm. I'm not sure what it was called, but it was some sort of brand that she had. And that is how she was able to be successful, because of the Japanese Korean heritage, or what she looks like on the outer appearance. That is what gave her the success. Oh, it's apple bottom? Okay, apple bottom, or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I know it was short-lived. But whatever the case is, she's a black woman. Kimora Lee is a black woman, but she don't identify as one. Because again, a lot of people don't want to identify as a black woman. Matter of fact, in my last stream that I had, somebody actually paid a $5 super chat. And what's crazy about this, I didn't even see it till after. Somebody paid a $5 super chat in my last stream to say that something along the lines of, I think their father is black and their mom is Mexican, but they don't identify as black. They identify as Mexican. See, a situation like that, that's someone who is ashamed to be black. That's a person that don't want to accept who they are. So because they look more Mexican, they rather just identify as that. They don't want to be identified as black at all. They run from the idea of that because they don't want to have the same sort of, I guess, troubles that a lot of colored people go through in this society. Believe it or not, somebody actually paid $5 in my last stream. You can look it up yourself. Somebody paid $5 to come into the super chat to tell me that their mom is Mexican and their father is quote unquote African American, but they identify as Mexican. And that's a sad situation. The reason why is you're basically saying you don't want to be identified as black because you're ashamed. I get it. And that's a problem. And it's the same situation with Kimora Lee. Kimora Lee do not identify as a black woman. You don't see her on social media identifying as a black woman at all, but she is. Her father is African American. So why she don't embrace that? See, she don't want to because she's ashamed of it. Because in some instances, she know what happened. The man most likely traveled, had relations with her mom, and she was brought forth. That's exactly, listen, ladies and gentlemen, these guys that claim that they're passport guys, these guys, they travel abroad, impregnate women overseas, and then they come back to America. That's how they do their thing. They don't take care of any responsibilities. So a lot of times women that are overseas, they turn up pregnant and they don't even know who they got pregnant by. It's really, really bad. So when you hear these guys calling themselves passport bros and all this other stuff, it's like it's a group of men that can't get women in America because they don't want to deal with the responsibilities of having children. They don't want to deal with the courts. They don't want to deal with the marriage system. They don't even want to be married. They just want to be with women, have relations, and then leave. That's what they're looking for, right? So what we're trying to do is educate the public on the basics of understanding your bloodline. Kimora Lee is, in fact, a black woman. It doesn't matter if she look Japanese or whatever the case is. That has nothing to do with anything here. We're dealing with bloodline. We're dealing with biology. If your father is so-called African American, then you are who your father is. And to deny that is to deny your own heritage. And it means that you're ashamed to be who you are. It's just like if you were to ask a lot of people that's from the Dominican Republic, they'll act like, well, I'm not black. I'm Dominican. You see how that works? Why? Because they're ashamed. Trust and believe. You ask anyone and they'll tell you the same type of stories. You know, there are some Dominican people that are right here where I'm at, and they'll tell me their family, they don't consider themselves black. You see what I mean? They say, oh no, I'm Dominican. And I'm like, what do you mean Dominican? What is that? What is that? No, I'm Dominican. I'm not black. Why? They don't want to be identified. They don't want to go through. See, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody wants to be black. Nobody. Except Tia Mowry, right? She's the only one. You don't see her sister doing that. You don't see Tia Mowry's sister going around online saying these things. Only her, right? So again, what we're trying to do is make you understand who you are, right? You're not mixed. There's no such thing as mixed. There's no such thing as mixed. That doesn't make any sense. You understand? You are of your father. And I think people need to understand that. You are of your father. And you shouldn't be ashamed of that. If your father is Caucasian, be happy that your father is Caucasian and embrace your Caucasian heritage. If you're Asian and your father is Asian, embrace your Asian heritage. But don't go around claiming to be something that you're not, because that's not cool. You understand? And these are things that people have to understand. It has nothing to do with your mom. Your mother do not give you your heritage or your so-called nationality. Your mom don't do that for you. You get your bloodline from your father. That's how you get your bloodline. Is everybody on the same page with that? Because we already did the stream on these issues, and a lot of people had a hard time understanding the basics. Let's get back to this. But a lot of people have a very hard time understanding this because they don't understand basic biology. You are not of your mother. You cannot say, oh, I'm black because my mom is black. No, if your father is white and you come from his seed, you are of the seed of your father. That is your nationality. You cannot take on the nationality of your mother. That makes no logical sense. Why it makes no logical sense? Because the nationality of your mother came from her father. Do you see that? The nationality of your mother came from her father. This is why, in order for a man to continue his lineage, he must have sons. A man must have biological sons that come forth from his loins. Do you understand? In order for a man to continue his bloodline, he needs sons. That's the only way. That's the only way that man will continue his bloodline, is through sons, not through daughters. Yeah, his daughters are his bloodline, but once his daughters marry a man, right? the next thing that happens is she's going to bring forth the seed of that man, which cancels out his name, and she takes on the last name of the man she marries. Do you understand? This is why when a woman gets married to a man, what happens? You take on that man's last name. That's how it's supposed to be. If you married a man, right? If you get married, you take on his last name. Why? Because you married into his family. You're about to take on his bloodline now. You are marrying into that man's family, and you're now signing up to be the vessel by which you can bring forth that man's lineage. That's how it is. A man is not supposed to take a woman's last name, because to take on a woman's last name is to take on her father's last name. That makes no logical sense. That's disrespectful, to say the least. Any man in today's day that would take on a woman's last name after marrying, that man has been emasculated, and he don't even understand who he is. You understand? You can't do that. So this is to illustrate the truth so that you can learn and grow. No different than whatchamacallit, if you have an Asian man that have relations with a black woman. If that's the case, the child is Asian. The child is not a black child. No, that is unacceptable. You have to always understand that you are of the seed of your father. To think any other way is to be delusional. And it means you're in denial of basic biology, and you refuse to accept the reality of where you come from. That means that you are ashamed of who you are. That means that you are the type of person that will cling and identify to anything to be one that belongs to something that you're not a part of. And it's going to only make you miserable in terms of a life where you're constantly trying to prove yourself, constantly trying to be a part of something that you're not even welcomed in, and you're going to get frustrated. And that's exactly what Tia Mowry is going through right now, where she's trying to identify as something that she's not. And she really should be identifying as her father. So I hope that through these illustrations that you're able to learn what is really the reality of where you come from. You come from your father's seed. Now, we just gave you an illustration about bleach and water. Now I'm going to show you another example to give you more understanding. Right here, cup of water. Over here, we have a cup of paint. A cup of white paint. Both the same size, same amount, no cheating. White paint, right? We have clear water. Let's say, for example, this is a white man. White paint, white man, cool. Here we got regular clear water. This represents a black woman. Now, a lot of times people say, well, yeah, my father is black. My father's white, but hey, I'm going to identify as a black woman because, my mom is black. Okay, let's see what happens. When you take this white paint and you put it into this water, can we identify the water as black? Doesn't make any sense, right? Let's see what happens when we add the paint into the water. And keep in mind, it's the same amount. It's the same amount of paint. At mode or culture, we're going to explain this thing to you, right? You says, so if a son is from a mixed mother and black father, first of all, there's no such thing as mixed. If a son is from a black father, the child is black, right? Period. There's no other way around it. And when I say black, I say that loosely because black is a crayon color. That's not a nationality. You understand? Black men in America that are in America are Israelites by blood. Israelites. That is their nationality. That is who they are. There's no such thing as African American. There's no such thing as black. None of that stuff represents a people. Do you understand? None of that stuff represents who you are. You're the biblical Israelites, period. There's nothing else that you add on to that. Listen, America was named after a Caucasian. Africa was named after a Caucasian, Spaniard. All these different people that name all these different continents and places, all white men. Africanus, anyone? Do your research. You understand? But see, a lot of people, they don't want to hear this. But let me get back to the point of what this person was saying. So if a son is from a mixed mother and black father and the kid looks Mexican, this has nothing to do with looks. Again, you're not paying attention in class. You're not paying attention. What are you talking about? Again, another person that is focused on appearances and looks. We're not focusing on appearance and looks. We're focusing on nationality and bloodline, right? You're focused on looks. Looks means nothing. Nobody cares about looks. Listen, if you got burned up in a fire and your skin is disfigured, nobody cares about your looks. You're burnt up, right? But what we can identify is your bloodline. You see that? That is what we can identify. So if a son is from a mixed mother, which makes no sense, there's no such thing as mixed. The mother comes from the seed of her father. Who is her father represents her seed. It has nothing to do with being mixed. There's no mixture of seeds. And a black father and the kid looks Mexican, not black at all. Basically, that ain't his kid. You're confused. You're confused, literally. Enough of me wasting my time. You're confused. Just rewind the tape and watch everything all over. This is why I try to not waste my time reading comments, because a lot of times people are just not paying attention, and you're selective and you're not hearing, you're not paying attention. You're worried about looks. We're not talking about looks. We're talking about bloodline, nationality. That's what we're talking about here. You understand that? We're talking about bloodline. That's it. The same amount. Paint and water is the same, right? So we're pouring this into the water, right? I don't even have to pour all of it because we don't want to be here forever, right? So now let's keep that there. Now notice this. You see that? That's the same paint, right? Okay, now watch this now. You see that? That's paint inside the water. Now guess what? Which one would you rather me throw on your clothes? Regular water or this? Make your choice. Which one would you rather me pour on your clothes? Do you see the example? It's very simple to understand, people. When your father is black and he lay with your mother, it does not matter about your mom. What matters is the seed by which you came from. You take white paint and you pour it into a clear glass of water. The paint literally override the water. The water did not override the paint. You cannot identify as water when you came from paint. Wow, you can't identify as water if you came from paint. Ladies, do you carry sperm? Answer the question. Ladies, do you carry sperm in your body? No. So you don't carry life. You don't. Your womb is pretty much dead. Pretty much. Ain't nothing there. Because you don't carry life. Men do. That's why we have a nutsack, an incubator with billions of sperm cells. We carry life in our bodies. Real life. Organisms. You understand? As men, we walk around with millions, billions of sperm cells every day. And we create them every day. Do you understand me? If you take one man, and put him in California, and just place 1,000 women in California with one man, he can populate the entire state. Do you understand that? Put him there with 1,000 women. He can impregnate 1,000 women and build civilization. One man. That's all it takes. Because he has everything. A woman carries the egg. That's it. That's all she have. The man carries the life. When he plants it in the woman, she brings forth the baby. That's it. But see, we got it all misconstrued. And instead, we twist it around, and what we say is we ignore the man and we give the woman all the praise and all the glory and say, well, my mom gave birth to me. And, forget about my dad. I come from my mom. No, you came from your dad. Your dad gave birth to you. He planted his seed in your mom. But see, nobody acknowledged the truth. And then you have the highly, overly spiritual folks that'll say, well, women are the ones who give birth to men. So men came from women. That's a lie. Actually, it's the other way around. A woman came from a man in the beginning. That's right. A woman came from a man. And that's why she was turned into a womb man. Womb man. The woman was taken from the rib of a man. And she was given a womb. And now through that womb, we can produce more of us. So rather than us continually taking a man's rib to make a woman, now the Most High made a womb man. Basically, the Most High made a man with a womb. Pretty much, if you would get technical with it, pretty much the Most High made a man that has a womb. That's what he did. And now all that man got to do is mate with that womb man and produce life. So now rather than the woman coming from the rib of the man, now she come from the womb. You see how that works? And that's how life is. So you are of the seed of your father. There's no other way around that. And then people need to realize that, because in today's culture, a lot of people are willingly ignorant of this. And ignorant doesn't mean stupid for anybody that's out there in the clouds. Ignorance mean uninformed, unaware, uninstructed. Ignorant don't mean stupid. I don't know where we get that mindset from. A lot of people, when you say, hey, you're ignorant, they be like, I'm not stupid. I never said you're stupid. You just don't have no understanding of the word ignorant. Ignorant don't mean stupid. It mean uninformed, unaware, uninstructed. That's what the word ignorant mean. You're just unaware of the truth. You're uninstructed of the truth. You see? Some people just don't know. Some people have been conditioned that their mother is who they are. Well, my mom is black, so I'm black. Well, let's flip this around. What if a man is clearly white on the outside, right? Look like a white man, but his father's black. His father's black and his mom is white. So now he's going to go around saying, hey, I'm white. How? This is not making any sense. Like, we just going to disregard your father? He don't exist? He's not important? Look, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're joining in on the show, we talked about other people that, that are in the industry. We talked about them, and let me see if I can do this. Yeah, we talked about these particular individuals here, right? You got Faith Evans, You have this other woman right there. I'm not sure if her name is Paris something. I'm not sure. You got that other woman with the red hair. Her father's Caucasian as well. Tia Mari father, Caucasian. The woman from The Color Purple, her father's Caucasian. The Kyra lady, her father is Iranian. So these are the facts. There's no way around it. You know, there's no way around the facts. You know, and here's another thing that's going to really rock your marbles. I don't think you realize this, but in the industry, if you really think about it, the majority of the actors, actresses are predominantly quote unquote biracial. Believe it or not. Rare is it, and there are a few, but rare is it that you'll have an actor or actress that comes from a completely black family, meaning black father, black mother. Rare. I'm not saying there are none. I'm saying it's rare. The majority of everybody that's in the industry that are actors, actresses are quote unquote biracial. The majority. And it's for a reason. It's for a reason. Trust and believe me, it's by design. It's by design, y'all. Because the only way they were able to even get there is because of that situation. Is it fair? No. But that's just the way the industry rocks. I'm telling you straight up and down. All of your most popular stars that is always on the front line, all of them biracial. Straight up and down. You can't get past that. You know? Look, think about this. Like anytime you see like a popular football player, basketball player, if you notice, his wife is not a black woman if he's a black man. You understand? Think about what I'm saying here. You go find your favorite basketball player and take a good look at his wife. And you'll be like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. All you got to do is look at the shows, look at like the Hall of Fame basketball events when they have the Hall of Fame. Look at these guys when they're sitting down at the tables with their wives, and you'll be like, wow. It's like all of them, everybody's mix. Wow. Okay. You know, that's how it is in Hollywood. You know, you had Kanye West. He got with, those Kardashians, and you know, now he's being seen with another woman that looked like a Kardashian. You know, this is what I mean. It's like, I just can't. Well, I know why. I know what it is. It's just that's how the world is right now. It's crazy. You know? Because this is where we are, and it confuses a lot of people. It really do confuse a lot of people, man. It really does. A lot of people just aren't happy with themselves. I'm trying to make people understand, like I said, where they come from, who they are, so that there's no confusion. And that's why I put together this example so that you can know who you are. Right? Listen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing right here is a basic test of Biology 101. Simple as that. Biology 101. On this side here, what we have is regular H2O. I think most of you know that as water, right? On this side, we have bleach. That's right, 100% bleach. This water represents a woman. This is her womb with water, right? This is the man's seed. This represents the seed of a man. Now, what I'm going to show you is that when a man plant his seed in a woman, the woman take on his DNA to bring forth the child. Now, another thing I want to point out before we continue, one of the reasons why in the industry, television, music, and so forth, a lot of your favorite singers, actresses, and so forth that are quote unquote biracial, the reason for this is so that they can be looked upon as the standard of beauty. In other words, they're mixed. So therefore, they're beautiful. And now what this does for women that are not in that predicament, it makes you look at yourself like, I need to get me a Caucasian man to have a baby so that I can produce a child that look like so-and-so. Are you seeing that? I mean, hey, from back in the day in the 90s, I can recall you had a lot of women. And this is a fact. I remember back in the day. Back in the day, there was this thing going around, a lot of brothers, you know what I'm talking about, where a lot of women would get with brothers that had a certain texture hair. It was a very, very frustrating time where women wouldn't talk to you, or let's just say they wouldn't be interested in having a kid with you if your hair texture wasn't a certain way. How many of you guys remember that time? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that time. If you're old enough, you would remember that time. Where women would literally judge you by your hair as a man. Let me feel your hair. This is what they used to do to us brothers. They would say, let me feel your hair. They would want to know what your hair texture is to see if you're the kind of guy they want to get with to have a baby with. Weird stuff. I'm telling you, this type of programming was going on back in the day. And I could just only imagine what it is like now. Look at all the ones, y'all. Y'all can't see what's going on. I'm telling you, it's right there in your face, man. I'm not lying. I know what I'm talking about. Sisters used to do this stuff, man. They used to be like, could I feel your hair? And they want to know if you're, and some of the brothers had S-curl. Y'all remember S-curl? Y'all remember that? Some of the brothers used to put S-curl to make their hair look a certain way. And the sisters would try to feel your hair to see if it's soft or whatever the case is. And that would determine if she liked you or not. Weirdo stuff. And if you didn't have the right texture hair, a sister would literally not want to be with you. Weird stuff like that. Crazy. You know? So a lot of times guys were frustrated and they would go get S-curl to try to make their hair look, how can I say, natural, or we used to call it natural. Matter of fact, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This is how I know I understand history. And a lot of history has been altered. Back in the day, what is known as natural hair was not considered what we call black hair. Natural hair was more fine, more like coolie, more like curly. It wasn't the typical Negro hair, for lack of better words. So they switched the word natural. They switched it in today's day. Because back in the day, natural didn't mean quote unquote black hair. I don't want to say nappy. We'll say kinky. You know, I really can't even describe the texture. I just say black, right? But back in the day, they would say that natural hair was the more fine hair, was the good hair. Remember back in the day? Oh, you got good hair. This is what they used to tell us back in the day. And brothers was putting S-curl in their hair to try to attract women. And then what happened, brothers? What happened back in the day? There was a revolution. Brothers said, enough is enough. We're no longer putting in S-curl. We're no longer putting in none of these gels. We're no longer going down to the local stores. We're not doing that no more. See, I'm giving you a history lesson to make you understand how men decided to stop using the S-curl. Men gave up on S-curl. Men gave up on perm in their hair. There was a time when men, black men, put perm in their hair. Lie to make their hair straight, to look slick, to attract women. And then we stopped. We totally stopped because we saw that what they were doing to us as a people. We saw how they were making us hate ourselves. So we stopped doing it. But our women continued. Our women continued doing it. You understand? Our women continued to embrace the perm. They never stopped. And it just grew worse and worse and worse. And it's just out of control. You understand? You understand? Men used to put perm in their hair. You never watched the movies? You never watched the 5 Heartbeats? Good movie. Suggest you go watch it. Men used to put perm in their hair back in the day. Yes. That's right. Men used to put perm in their hair to make their hair look slick. Temptations, there you go. This is what they used to do. You don't remember, what's that movie with Soul Glow? Remember that Soul Glow? What's that, Coming to America? Remember Soul Glow? Where the dude had all of the Jerry curls? All that stuff, Jerry curls. Men used to buy that stuff to look more attractive for women. And we got tired of doing that. So we got out of that mess. Men literally got out of that market. In today's day, a lot of these companies that focus on these products, they don't get no support from us men. We don't buy none of that stuff. Men do not buy perm. Men don't buy S-curl. Men don't buy none of that stuff no more. That stuff ain't making no more money. You understand? Let me get this person up on out of here. Don't come in here telling the people that they're acting like idiots. Don't come in here being disrespectful. We're just going to get you up on out of here. Right? And I'm not a moderator. I'm the host. There's no timeouts with me. I just remove you. You come in here with disrespect, we're going to give you that same energy. We're just going to get you on up on out of here. Don't come in here telling the people that they are idiots. Why are you watching them? Why are you here? Why are you entertaining us? Right? So now, Rebel for Almighty, I was pissed off with you earlier, and I took your wrench away. I'm going to give you your wrench back. I was pissed off with you because you did something in the chat. You might have to watch the stream later and see it, but I gave you your wrench back. You know what I'm saying? Because what you did earlier, it made somebody else come into the stream saying that I'm attacking women because of what I said. But I gave you your wrench back. Right? So now anybody else that come in here disrespecting the people by calling them idiots, I'm going to get you on up on out of here. I don't have no time to play games. These are serious topics. Do you understand? I'm trying to educate the people so that they can have an understanding of where they come from, bloodline, and so forth. Right? So leave all your insults, the trolling and all that nonsense, because I'm just going to block you. Right? I like when people come through, interact, share their thoughts and everything. But I'm not going to have you coming in to disrespect the people by calling them idiots because of their comments or whatever the case is. If anything, let me do my job. I'll call out people when I need be. But I'm not going to have anybody else do that. Right? Let me see. So, again, when it comes to who you are, it's all about your father. This is why you got to honor your father. and your mother that your days may be long, right? You got to honor your father and your mother that your days may be long. This is very important. If you are a woman and your mom is black, but your father is Caucasian, embrace who you are in terms of being Caucasian. That is who you are. You cannot deny that. So embrace that and stop being ashamed of your father. Right? Embrace who your father is. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Like I said, in my last stream, somebody came in there and paid $5 super chat to tell me that their father's black, but their mother is Mexican, and how they don't identify as black, they identify as Mexican. And when I see stuff like that, I'm like, wow, like, are you ashamed of your father? Are you really ashamed of your dad? You know? So with the situation with Tia Mowry, she's supposed to just acknowledge who she is. She's busy trying to identify as African American when her father's Caucasian. It's disrespectful to her father. Her father should feel some type of way about that. Like, wait a minute, you're my seed. To identify, listen, look, I don't know why this is so difficult for people to understand. The reason why you can't identify, all right, look, in the case of Tia Mowry, her mom is African American, for lack of better words. I hate using that type of word, but hey, African American, it is what it is, right? Her mom is African American. Her dad is Caucasian. Tia cannot identify as African American. To do that mean that she's identifying on the father of her mother. You can't do that because you're not of that seed. You're of the seed of your father, who is Caucasian. And I think that that is a serious thing that people got to get corrected, especially in today's day, man. Like, wow, know where you come from, man. Your bloodline. If your father's Caucasian, represent your family tree. Go to your Caucasian father and represent who you are. And don't be ashamed by trying to act like something you're not. Because when I look at Tia, the way she's acting online, it's like she's doing too much. That's what I'm seeing. She's doing too much. It's like she's portraying, I don't know what it's almost like she's trying to get your attention to be a part of something, to be one of the girls. I don't know what it is. It's like an identity crisis or some sort of thing she's going through. You know, represent your pops. What movie that was, man? It was a movie I saw the other day. Damn. It was a movie with Denzel Washington. Maybe one of you might know it. It was a movie with Denzel Washington, right? Wait, was it Denzel Washington? Yeah, it was Denzel Washington, right? And it was a young man who, he was in the military, right? He was in the military and he had a girlfriend, a pretty young lady in the movie, whoever she is. I don't know who she is, but she's pretty. And what happened was he had anger issues. He had anger issues. And what happened was he was raised by an abusive mother. And in the movie, I think it was a scene where they asked him, why have you never been with a young lady? Anton Fisher. There you go. Antoine Fisher. Yeah, that's the movie. There you go. I had watched it the other night. Right? That's the movie. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Antoine Fisher. Right? Okay. So in that movie, he was in search of his biological mother. Right? His biological mother, because he was raised in an abusive home where he was assaulted, by a grown woman, and the woman made him do things, if you know what I mean. And he ended up finding out who his real mother was. And his real mother was like, I guess she probably was on drugs in the projects, in the hood, run down, had a lot of issues. But he ended up finding out who his real mother was. And he went and embraced his mother, right? He hugged his mother, and he wasn't ashamed. He wasn't ashamed of his mother. Even though his mom was probably on drugs, because if you've seen the movie, it's a good movie. But I like the fact that when he saw his mom, his real mom, he didn't look down on her because she had issues. He embraced his mom. He hugged his mom. He was thankful for seeing his mom. And then what happened was he met his real family. Y'all remember that part where his girlfriend was there and he met his grandmother, his grandfathers. He met his real family. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing what I'm trying to show you? He met his real family. So what I'm trying to show you is that you need to be like that when it comes to embracing your true nationality. So if you are a man and your father is Caucasian, but all this time you've been identifying as a black man because you look like a black man, I think that it's time for you to really truly identify who you really are. Now, of course, you might look like a black man, but don't be in denial and don't reject your family or reject getting to know your relatives, because these, in fact, are your people. There's no way around that, man. I'm not saying don't be a part of the black side of your family, but what I'm saying is don't just disregard the truth. And that's not cool. Embrace who your father is. Have respect for your family. You can be a part of the black side of your family, because some of us, we come from situations where we were raised more by the black side than the white side, depending on your situation. But what I'm saying is learn how to, especially when you get older, to find out about your father's side. You get what I mean? Because you never know who you might meet. You never know. You never know. There might be an inheritance that's waiting for you, and you don't even know that. You never know. You'd be surprised how your relatives that you don't know will embrace you once you discover and seek them out. You understand? That's all I'm saying. Because it's not about whether you're white or black. That's not what this is about. People keep getting things misconstrued. I'm here to add clarity so that we understand where we come from, so that we don't deny who we really are. Because you might have a father that's Caucasian and he never even seen you. You know what I'm saying? And you might be missing out on a lot of information on how you even came about, on how your mom met him, or how, because look, with the way I see Tia Mowry moving, it's sort of like she's ashamed of her father. I don't know if she was raised, I don't know, but I don't see her embracing him. And it's like, it just don't look right to me, at least. It's like she's not trying to embrace him. And what I see her doing on her Instagram, to me, it would have been better if she didn't come out and say, if she didn't come out and identify her hair as black hair. I think that's the mistake that she did. I think that she should have came out and she should have said that I'm representing my natural hair as a Caucasian woman who have a black mother. That to me would have added a lot of balance to what she did. Because it's like she just disregarded her father. because she said that her hair is black and how as black women, we need to embrace our natural hair and appreciate our uniqueness. But my point is, if her father is Caucasian, isn't that leaving out the fact and the truth that she's Caucasian? What about Caucasian women that are looking at her and saying, hold up, wait a minute. What about your father? That's exactly my point. She's disrespecting her father. I get it. You got a mother who's African American. I get it. We understand all of that. But you come from the seed of your father. So you have to respect where you come from. So to say my hair is African American and you're only talking to African American women and not Caucasian women, I find that to be rather disrespectful. That's disrespectful. Because I keep hearing everybody saying that they're mixed, but if you're mixed, why are you identifying as African American? You know? So that's the point that we're trying to do here. So that when we look at these examples, that's what I'm trying to bring out. That is what happens. When the man plant his seed, there is no mixing. No, you become that of your father's seed. There's no mixing, ladies and gentlemen, because you come from your father's seed. The only way you can mix something is if I take apple juice and orange juice and pour it into one cup. Now it's mixed. You understand? Because that's two different seeds. When you have water, you're not mixing anything. You're not really mixing anything. You can say dilute, but you're not mixing anything. It's still the same thing, just diluted. And this is what happens when you have daughters. This is why when you have a daughter, she cannot continue your bloodline, because once she get married to a man, she's now taking on the seed of that man. All she is a womb. That's it. Yes, she's your seed, but your seed does not continue. Your seed only continued through a son. This is why in biblical days, it was very important for a man to have a son. This is why they were celebrating when they had a son. Matter of fact, when a man had a lot of sons, the father was considered rich. Do you know that? If you're a man today, black man, white man, Asian man, whatever the case is, if you got nothing but sons, you're wealthy. You're a wealthy man. Are you listening? If you're a black man and you got 3 sons, you're a wealthy man and you don't even know it. You're a wealthy man. I got 4 daughters. I don't have no son. I have 4 daughters. So if you have 1 son, you're more wealthier than me. Believe it or not. Now, the reason why is because your bloodline continues after you're gone. Your bloodline continues. If I don't have no sons before I leave this earth, my bloodline stops right there. It don't go no further. Even if I have daughters, no legacy. Your legacy doesn't continue. This is why a man's bloodline is the key factor. You understand? So if you're a man and you have 3 sons, 4 sons, you have 4 times more of a legacy that's going to continue down the road. And if your sons have sons, your name is going to live on for generation and generation and generation. You understand? This is where you get a junior. Like if you have a son, he's now junior. Notice, no daughters are called juniors. Are you paying attention? You see? So if you're a man and you have a son, you have now started the strength. Your son is the beginning of your strength. Even the scriptures say that. If you study the scriptures, it tell you that. Very, very important. That's just the way it goes. So it's very important for you to understand exactly how this thing works. This is why the seed of your father is very important. So we can't continue to neglect the truth and just say, well, Tia is a black woman because her mom is black. That's not how it goes. You can't do that. That doesn't work like that. That's not how it works. I understand how you may feel, but that's not how it works. This is why, as a man in today's day, you're supposed to get with women and bring forth life. This is why, as a woman, you're supposed to get with a brother. And shout out to everybody that been super chatting, you know what I'm saying, during the streams. Appreciate all your support. Right? This is why it's very important as a man that you get with a woman and you bring forth life. A lot of times these guys in today's day, I don't know what's the matter with them. They're on this frequency of, well, I'm single and I don't got no kids. And they make it seem like having no kids is some sort of great thing. No, you're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. You're supposed to find a sister and build with. But just make sure she's the correct kind of woman. Don't just get with any woman. Don't just get with a regular woman, because I wouldn't even do that. I would not even try to have another kid with another woman if she's not on point. I wouldn't even waste my time. She got to be on point. Why? Because you have to look for good ground. It goes back to biology. It goes back to farming. You got to find a woman that have fertile ground, good ground, a woman that has the type of mindset that understands family, that understands purpose, that understands that she's a vessel of honor, and that she's bringing forth greatness. You understand what I mean? So you want to find a woman that have the true potential of being a mother, a good quality woman. That's the kind of woman you mate with to bring forth children. Don't get into the baby mama drama, just bringing forth kids with any old woman, and then your kids are neglected. You don't want that. The worst thing you can do is have a baby with a woman, and even if you had a son and you're with a crazy baby mama and she's out in the street wilding out, doing evil, treating your son like trash, that's a horrible situation. I suggest you get your son out of that situation and go to them courts and get custody of your boy, brother. I'm serious. Listen to what I just said right there, fam. If you're with a woman right now and she's a crazy baby mama and she's doing evil to your son, fam, if you're a man and you got a son, bro, your son is your strength. That's your legacy right there. I suggest you go to them courts and you get full custody of that boy. Full custody. You take your boy back. You take your boy back. And I'm talking about a baby mama that's not taking care of that boy. You take your son back, fam. Don't just keep your boy over there because he's with his mom. If you know your son is not being treated right, bro, fam, that young boy represents you. That's your strength. That's your legacy. If there's anything in this life that you must protect, is that young boy. Period. You bring that child into your house and you train him up till he could be a man, because he's going to continue your legacy. You teach him everything that you know. Everything you never were able to accomplish, you teach that to that young man, and you give him the chance you never had. Do you understand me? That's how we supposed to do as men. Now, don't get me wrong. You're supposed to teach your daughters too. You're supposed to teach your daughters the things you know, the things you do, and everything else. But understand that when your daughters grow up, they're going to take on a man, and they're going to bring forth the seed of that man. So your legacy doesn't continue through your daughter. But you're still supposed to bring your daughters up as well, the same way you do your sons. But your sons is of great importance. Great importance. You must understand that. You must do your job as men. So seed is very important in this class. So let's continue this. Your nationality come from your father. That is who you come from. So what we're going to examine and learn is that when you take this cup of bleach and you pour it into this, it's not about the name. It's not about the name. I see your comment. You said sons only carry the name. This is not about just name. You're missing the point. This is about bloodline. This is not about name. This is about bloodline, because most of our last names come from slave owners. I don't care about a last name. Again, we're dealing with knowledge and we're dealing with education. Most of our last names as so-called African Americans come from slave owners. Do you understand me? So I don't care about a last name. We're dealing with bloodline, nationalities. That's what we're dealing with here. Forget about names. That's not what this is about. This is about your bloodline, your heritage of who you are. This is about you remaining in the earth realm. Even after your father gone, we have his son in the world. You understand? This is why a man is supposed to be fruitful and multiply. Fruitful and multiply. That is what he's supposed to do. You understand? Very important. Jane, do you just walk into a classroom and just say, what the F is this? Is that how you walk into a classroom? Moderator, could you get rid of Jane out of the building, please? Thanks a lot, Shao. This is what I mean. Do you just walk into a college campus and just walk into a classroom and say, what the F is this? What kind of disrespect is that? It's just crazy, the things that you see on social media, right? But let's get back to the program.
It's water. This bleach will become what's in this cup here. If I was to take this cup of water and pour it right on this shirt right here, right? Notice that color on that shirt remains the same.
It remains the same because the color of the shirt is clearly black. And I'm using that as an example. The shirt is black. The clear water would represent a black woman. And if you've been following the two streams, we're talking about the Tiamari situation, and then now we're talking about multiple situations. If you haven't watched the stream from the beginning, do not walk in the classroom being disrespectful, because we will block you. We don't have time for the trolling, the time for the nonsense. Educated people learn how to sit down and keep their mouth closed. Period. Disrespect will not be tolerated. So now the clear water represents the woman. The woman is the seed of her father. So when you pour the water on the shirt doesn't change color. It doesn't change nationality. It don't, because she's of the seed of her father. Her father represents the cloth, which is black, right? Even though we are not black, that is a crayon color. We're different shades of brown, but brown, black, none of that is a nationality. These are just things and bywords that they call us by. But now let's see what happens.
Which mean that color that is in this cup, which is clear, regular H2O, is not effective on that shirt. But now, when you take this man and you put him with this woman, and they have a seed, meaning that he plant his seed in this woman, like that.
Once that happens, the woman goes through a metamorphosis, and she begins to transform and change into the image and the likeness of the man that she laid up with.
Something happens now. Now, that seed is in that woman. And something happens mysteriously. Right? And this is where you get your nationality from. This is where you get your bloodline from. There is no mixture. There is no nothing. In all actuality, you become who your father is. So now when you take this cup and you pour that on that shirt, let's see what happens.
Let's see if you are of your mom.
Leave that right there and let it do what it need to do. And let's see what happens. Put this cup back over here, because what we want to find out is exactly what takes place and to see who's correct when it comes to biology.
You see the change?
Because what you're going to learn is that the woman took in the seed of the man, and now the child is going to become what the father is.
That's the way it works. There's no way around that. You know what I mean? There's no way around that point. The child becomes that of the father. The mom is just the vessel that brings forth the child. That's it. That's it. The child does not get their nationality and bloodline from the mom. The child gets that from the father. Bushwick said, husband comes from the word husbandry. Husbandry is farming or planting seed. Yeah. Because that's what men's supposed to do. Farm, which means we're supposed to know how to cultivate, harvest, do all of that work in the field. This is what we're supposed to be doing. But a lot of us, we are not raised in a country setting where we have land and so forth to do that, because most of us live in cities. But we're supposed to be farming. We're supposed to be living off of the land, planting seed. Everything is based on seed time and harvest. Another point Michael Bird said, he said the ancient Egyptians understood seed. That's why they tried to kill the boys and save the girls. Of course. We even see that in the biblical days where the Messiah is concerned. What did King Herod say? He said, kill all the male childs from 3 and down. He said, kill all of them. He ain't say anything about the girls, because everything is about the male child. Everything. The most valuable. Same thing happened in Egypt. Same thing happened in Egypt. They tried to do the same thing. You understand? Concerning Moses. Even when it came down to when Pharaohs tried to, I guess he tried to come against Moses in terms of, he was like, I think he was talking about kill the firstborn sons, everybody from a certain age down. And what happened? The curse reversed and went on his son. And his son died. You see? So why is the emphasis on the male child? Because the male child is the most important child. The most important. Very, very valuable. You understand? This is why, as black men, and I'm speaking to black men, this is why society is against you. This is why so many things are so hard against you. This is why the police always come against you. This is why everybody always look at you as a failure and try to stop you, and you're the first fired, last hired. This is why. This is why they're so suspicious of you, because they're trying to break your spirit, because they don't want you to be a leader. This is why they destroyed the black family and they separated the home. This is why feminism came in. This is why our women are saying they're independent. They don't need a man. Why? To destroy the family structure. Because they don't want us to reproduce. They don't want us to build. They don't want us to build strong families. When you look at the majority of black communities, it's completely ran by the women. There are no black fathers in the homes. So because of this, there's no protection in the homes. There's no fathers, no protection, no education, and henceforth, these children are doomed. So we have the women trying to do the protection, they're trying to do the providing, they're trying to do the education. And when you have a woman trying to educate a boy to be a man, what you're going to do is you're going to get a male who's going to think like his mother and act like his mother. And this is why we have so many men incarcerated, because when they get in their feelings, rather than talking things out like men and being rational in their thinking, they become emotional and pull out a gun. Bars. You know what I mean? This is the problem that we have. So you have to understand seed.
It's not the other way around. And as you can see, based on the shirt, it's very apparent that it is changing color. Why?
Now, when I say changing color, this is not to talk about melanated skin. We're not talking about melanated skin. We're not talking about white. We're not talking about black. We are showing you that the seed of the man
planted in the woman, bringing forth the offspring, is the result of the father's seed. So when you see the bleach changing the shirt color, we're not focused on color. We're focused on bloodline to prove that once you add that seed to that woman's womb, whatever come out of that womb is that of the father. Period. There's no way around the truth. You either accept it or leave. Because the water is non-effective at this point. The water is non-effective. But once that bleach hit that water becomes bleach. The bleach overpowers the water. And now we see the results. The results is that the child or the offspring is that of the father. And this is something a lot of people have a hard time understanding. And my hope is that through this little illustration, you will learn. You are of your father's seed. You're not sure of the bleach analogy because you're not paying attention in class. This is what I mean when students arrive in the classroom after the teacher been teaching for 2 hours. How long have you been watching the stream? How long? Answer the question. How long have you been watching the stream? How long? How long have you been watching the stream? You don't know how long you've been watching the stream? See, this is what I mean. Do you like walk in the classroom in a college campus and just kind of walk in there and be like, hey, teacher, I don't get your analogy. And you just walked in the class and we've been there for an hour lecture? Is that how you do it? So you just kind of walk in the classroom, been there for like 10 minutes, and already you got questions about, well, I don't know about that bleach analogy. Of course you don't, because you were not in class. You missed class. And this is what I mean by people that have short attention spans. This is why YouTube made YouTube Shorts. You know why? They didn't make it to be cute. They made it because they know that most people have short attention spans, which means it's difficult to have a person tune in longer than 10 minutes. So they made something where you could watch something for 1 minute, because they realize that a lot of people don't have the ability to sit down and learn anything. So they figure if we make a short, you will pay attention to 1 minute worth of content. And hopefully watch another short for another minute, then watch another short for another minute. That's how your mind is programmed. So you cannot walk in a classroom if you only watch 3 minutes of a stream when I've been streaming for 2 hours. Obviously, you don't have all the information. So if I was to give a pop quiz, you would fail. We all understand the basics, right? Right? That's just the problem here. You said, I've been in class all day, Ringo. I just can't see why others need all this explaining. What are you talking about now? Now you sound crazy. What are you talking about? This has nothing to do with others. It has to do with you. You're the one who said that the bleach example or whatever the case is, you don't get it. This has nothing to do with everybody else. This has to do with you. Right? Let me see. Rebel, just get that person up out of here, because now they're disrespecting you. Just get that person up on out of here. We're trying to give them a chance. Obviously, they're not listening. You know, they're basically saying, don't try it. I'm begging you. You are not Ringo. Don't waste your time with that nonsense. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We don't got time to play a game. You cannot come in here and disrespect the mods. You know what I'm saying? You don't say stuff like, well, you know, you're not Ringo. You can't do that. You know, if I want to remove a moderator, I could do that.
And even I show mercy at times. But you cannot come in here disrespecting the moderators. You can't do that. You're not going to allow that. The point is very simple. You're saying you don't understand the bleach example when everything is very clear for you to understand. And see, this is why a lot of times in schools, they be blaming the teachers, and it's not the teachers, Even though you got some teachers that don't know how to teach, there are a lot of teachers that know how to teach, and the students are just not paying attention, right? The students are not trying to learn. This is a brilliant live stream. You're not going to find this nowhere on YouTube. This is brilliant. You understand? When I produce content, I provide the best to the point where it get the attention of others. And they'll say clown stuff like, that's garbage. Nobody don't care about that. Really? Whatever you say. I'm pretty much making my examples very clear. If you have a cup of bleach and you have a cup of water, the cup of water represents the womb of a woman. It's empty. There's nothing there. You understand that? The bleach represents seed. It represents the bloodline. It represents the heritage. It represents the nationality, the culture of who that man is. You pour that bleach into that water. That water have no power over the seed. The womb can only produce what the seed is. So when you take the same cup that have the water, it cannot stop who the seed is. And that seed is shown on that shirt. If you were to go and get a DNA test right now, if your father is Caucasian and you're a black, if your mom is black, right? If your mom is black and your father's Caucasian, and you're a woman or a man and you identify as a black man, and you go get a DNA test, your DNA test would come back that you are over 80% Caucasian. And there is nothing you could do about that. It'll shock you. Some people refuse to go get a DNA test. They don't even want to know. Some people are scared. They don't even want to do that. But if you get one of them ancestry DNA test things, you'll be surprised. You would be surprised. You understand? And that's pretty much what will happen. Once you know that if you come from the seed of your father, you are of your father. We don't care about percentages. There's no 50-50. Y'all got to stop the mumbo jumbo nonsense. We've been doing this all morning. You understand? We had one lecture earlier, and now this turned into another class again. And we're trying to help people to understand the basics. There is no percentages of you're half your mother, half your father. There's none of that. You're your father's seed. Embrace it. That's it. Is that so hard to understand? Is that so hard to understand? You can't be both. You can't say I'm African and American. No. You're either one or the other. You can't say you're one and the same. No. You understand? There's no DNA splits in half. There's no DNA splits in half. What are you talking about? Do you see what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? How people just don't. Some people are going to be delusional for life. There's nothing you can tell them. Some people are going to be delusional for the rest of their life. You can't help them. Because no matter what you tell them, they're going to remain in limbo land. About the DNA splits in half. Okay. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. But all I know is this. If you have a so-called man who his father is Caucasian and he looked like a black man, he's not. Just like Bob Marley. I told you in my last stream that Bob Marley was in fact Caucasian. Bob Marley was not an African American. His father was a Caucasian man. And people will fight against that and say, no, he's a black man. I'm telling you, man, Lenny Kravitz too. There you go. His pops, based on, I think I saw it in my research that his pops is white. Yeah. There's a picture of Bob Marley's father online. I did my research with all of this stuff. You understand? Now, even if these men look black, they're not. Let's see. I'm trying to understand. Do some of these women not see the honor in being a vessel? They don't. They don't see themselves as a vessel. They see themselves as a man. That brings me to this point. When women refuse to understand that they are a vessel that is used, right? That means that they're trying to be a man. Bruce Lee said it best in one of his quotes. I don't have it verbatim, but in one of Bruce Lee's quotes, he said something along the lines of, be like water. Be like water. If you take water and pour it into a glass, it becomes the glass, or something like that he was saying. Some analogy he was making. And it was brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that so I can quote it properly. Let me see if I can do that. Bruce Lee water quote. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. I'm trying to find the quote where he talked about water. I hope I don't. Let me see. I'm trying to find something. All right. I think I have it here. All right. Let me put it into the video so we can all see it. All right. Let me put this into the stream. See, this is how I like to interact with the people so that we can gain an understanding in the class so it all makes sense. So now let me put this into the video. Right? So now this is the quote. I hope it's 100%, but I got it off Google. Right? So now the quote goes as follows. It says, be water, my friend. Empty your mind. Let me try to talk like Bruce Lee, because, you know. Be water, my friend. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. You put water in a pot. It becomes... Wait. You put water in a cup. It becomes the cup. You put water in a bottle. It becomes the bottle. You put water in a teapot. It becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. I'm trying to sound like how he sound. I think I almost got it, but I think I almost got it, man, in the beginning, somewhere around there, but you get what I'm trying to say? This quote by Bruce Lee pretty much helps out with the understanding of what's going on here. Because when you look at this, when you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. So if you put a man's seed inside of a woman and she bring forth a child, the child become the seed of that father, man. Wow. Uh-oh. Bushwick brought something up, man. Uh-oh, now I gotta unpack that one, man. Let's get it, man. Bushwick said, Ringo, also, if siblings have the mother and different fathers, They are not related. If I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. Oh no, you're 100% right. You're right. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Let's unpack this. Uh-oh. This is where, hey, I'm going to mess up everybody's weekend. Here we go. Now, I talked about this in other streams. Okay, you have your mom, right? But your brothers and sisters have different fathers, right? You are not technically brothers and sisters. You're not. Nope. You're not. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. I know for a lot of you, you might be like, what? Wait a minute. No, you're not. If your mother have more than one baby daddy and you got different alleged brothers and sisters, they're not your biological brother and sister. Nope, they're not. You can't even say that you're of the same family. You can't. Now, yeah, you're raised by the same mother, you came out of the same womb, but technically, you are not brothers and sisters. Why? You have different fathers. You have different fathers. There's no way around this. This is why back in the day, you had the, what's that show with, is it Maury? Y'all remember the Maury show, I think it was? You are not the father. Y'all remember that? Remember there was this one episode where a guy, he had a baby with a woman. Okay, that was his biological daughter, right? But then she got pregnant again and the guy was a little suspicious about the child. So he went on the show and they got the envelope. Remember how they used to bring the envelope? And he was standing there and the woman was like, yeah, that's definitely his kid. Why would I cheat? I ain't cheating on nobody. That's his son. That's his son. And then they read the thing and he says, in the case of Gerald and Yvonne, you are not the father. What? And normally when this happened, the woman would run off the stage and start crying and the man would be like, see, I knew it. I told you. I knew it, man. Yo, you did me dirty, bruh. And then he would have to come backstage and console the woman and be like, come on back out. So they would come back out and the guy would be popping junk. And then the dude would be like, look, I'm going to take care of my kid, but that other child is not my child. I don't know what's going on. Y'all remember that? Okay. Well, that's my point. That's my point. So what Bushwick said is the truth. If you have children by more than one man, see, ladies, look, this is why I keep telling you, y'all going out here having these babies by different men, thinking it's cute. And then when you get with a new man and you expecting him to be a stepdaddy to take care of your kids, you tripping. You tripping. Straight up. That man not responsible for that. That's not his seed. Straight up. Now, if he got with you and him had a kid and he's around your kids, then everything will fall in its place. Meaning he'll be around you and your kids, but for you to get with a brother and just automatically just assume like, oh, he's supposed to take care of my kids. No, that's not his responsibility. You're supposed to go to the daddy and get the proper support needed. And if the new guy want to do something for your kids, then that's on him. But you don't put no pressure on no man to take care of your kids. No, you don't do that. You get to know the brother. You don't come to a man talking about package deal and all this nonsense. Why would I get with a woman that got kids so I could take care of her kids? For what? Why would I do that? No. No man just gets with a woman because she have kids because he just can't wait to be a stepdaddy. If anything, he got with you because he wanted to get with you. Understand this, ladies. When a man get with you, it's because he want to get with you. Hopefully you got with a good man. because he wants to get with you, to get to know you. So when he get with you, try to get to know him so that you can understand your role in the purpose for why you're with him. But if you, as a woman that have kids by 2, 3, 4 different men, and you think that somehow your market value is so high that you could just get with a good quality man and demand that he just start taking care of your kids, you need to stay alone by yourself. Straight up. Straight up. I wouldn't sign up. I would not sign up. That's a waste of time. That's a liability. I'm not signing up to that. You ought to be ashamed of yourself to even try to make a man feel like he's obligated to take care of your kids. No, those are not his kids. It goes back to bloodline and seed. That's not his responsibility. So who told you that he's supposed to take care of your kids? Let's flip this on you, ladies. Boom, here we go. You just met a brother. This brother is handsome. The first guy you ever truly, truly liked. All you know is based on what he looked like. And then he hit you with the bombshell. He got 3 kids, right? And he tell you, look, sister, in order for you to rock with me, you got to accept my kids as yours and be their stepmom. How many of you sisters are signing up to be the stepmom? Look at the chat, brothers. Watch that chat and learn. Watch that chat and learn. How many of you ladies are signing up to be the stepmommy? How many of you ladies are signing up to take on the package deal? How many? How many? That's right. None. None of you signing up. So don't even sit there to tell us brothers that we supposed to sign up to take care of your kids. Get out of here. And I need for you brothers to pay attention to the chat and look at how many women are saying, see ya, no way, I'm out. You brothers need to pay attention to that. Because the point of what I'm trying to make here is this. The average woman is not sitting back ready to sign up to be a stepmommy of some guy she just met that have kids. She would say, I'll get with him. I don't got a problem dealing with a man that got kids, as long as his kids is being taken care of by their mother. Of course she'll sign up to be with you. But a woman is not signing up to be the stepmommy of your kid. The first thing she's gonna say is, where is their mother? Where's their mother? That's what she's gonna say. She's gonna say, where's their mother at? Because a woman wouldn't mind getting with a man if he got kids. She wouldn't mind, because women do that right now. You know what I'm saying? That's like if I run into a sister, she would know, hey, I got kids. I got 4 daughters. You know what I'm saying? So if she got with me, she's with me for a purpose. It's to reproduce. It's to bring forth life. I'm not here to entertain no woman and play games. I'm about family growth. I'm not here to play. You understand? So she would know I have 4 daughters. But I would not tell a sister, hey, if you get with me, you got to become a stepmommy and be responsible for paying for this for my daughters and buying this and buying that and buying this. No, they got their mother. She's there for that. So why is it that women try to do this? You want me to tell you why? Because the reason why women are doing what they're doing, brothers, is because they're trying to be men. And it's failing. It don't work like that. See, with us brothers, it's totally different. Because as a man, you can have more than one woman. And if you're a female and you're viewing my platform, you have to understand I teach on the subject of polygyny in terms of a man having more than one wife, more than one woman, more than one concubine. That's what I teach. Do you understand me? Now, let me explain this. If a man have a woman and he brought forth children with her, obviously that's the mother. She's taking care of her children. But notice this, the father is financially responsible for taking care of his children. You see that? So I will always be financially responsible for taking care of my children. No matter what woman I get, I'm financially responsible for taking care of my children. Are you listening? As a father, I am financially responsible for taking care of any offspring I produce with a woman. Are you understanding that? Now, listen to this. Listen to this.
Because if a man is financially responsible for taking care of any children he have with a woman, why is it that when a woman have children and she get with a new man, she automatically look at the new man as if though he's supposed to be financially responsible, and she's no longer looking at her 3 baby daddies? Why is that? That's backwards. And this is why I teach men that when you get with a woman who's a single mother, you're supposed to be getting to know her, she's supposed to be getting to know you, and she's supposed to secure the fact that her baby daddy is taking care of those kids. That's what she's supposed to be focused on. She's not supposed to be looking at the new man as if though he is supposed to be doing this, because I see it all the time. Oh, you got to take care of my kid. I'm the package deal. And in order for you to get this cooch, you got to take care of my kid. Listen, lady, I'd rather be alone. Do you understand me? Because I'm not coming in to take care of your kid in order to get some cooch. If you think that's what I'm about, that's not what I'm about. I'm not going to do that. So you can stay by yourself. And that's what I suggest brothers do when you meet women. This is why I keep telling you that seed is important. And a lot of times women are not taking personal responsibility on making sure that the baby daddy takes care of his kids. So when Bushwick made the point about if a woman have more than one child by different men, then the children are technically not brothers and sisters because they have different fathers. They come from different bloodlines. And we confuse our families in this day where we have a household full of children from different men, and you're wondering why your children don't get along. You're wondering why. You're wondering why your so-called daughter, brother, your daughter, son, your 3 sons are fighting one another. And you running in the room like, you're brothers. You shouldn't be fighting one another. Woman, your children are not brothers. They're not. I don't know what standard you're following, but they have different fathers. They're not brothers. They're not. You're just raising foster children. In all sense and purposes. You are what is that word when you get a surrogate? You're a surrogate mother. You're just raising the children of different men at this point. You're not raising brothers and sisters. You have adopted babies. That's what you've done. You have adopted children. You use your womb to bring forth babies, and you're taking care of babies from different guys. Those are not brothers and sisters. If we understand biology, if we understand structure, they're not brothers and sisters because they don't share the same bloodline. And there's no denying that. You can't even fight against that. That's just the truth. And this is why we have so much crime in the Black community, because a lot of the households and the families, they're not even brothers and sisters. They're not. And you know what's even more terrible about this? You know what's so terrible about this? I'm going to tell you. Here's another dangerous thing that happens. Because of the madness that's going on, because people don't understand bloodline and seed, let me tell you the other thing that's happening in the Black community right now. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to tell you the horror story that's going on in the Black community right now. I don't think you're ready, but I'm going to have to tell you the truth. This is a crazy stream, but I got to tell you the truth. There's something else that's going on in the Black community. I got to let you know. I hope nobody don't get caught out there, but it is what it is. You ready? Okay, here we go. The other thing that's going on in the Black community that is very sad is that a lot of people that are mating with one another are brothers and sisters. That's a bombshell, man. Oh boy. And this is what happens when women don't understand bloodline, seed. This is what happens when you don't understand that you're supposed to be with one man. What's going on in the Black community is this. You'll have a situation where a woman will get with a man, have a child, right? Now you raise that child up, but that same baby daddy that you have, he got another woman pregnant
down the street. So now your son is now 11. The other woman's daughter is now 12. And guess what? They meet up with each other in school. And they have no idea because this dude is just running around getting women pregnant. And because of this, his seed is in two different women, and they brought forth a son and a daughter from two different women. And these women, because they're promiscuous, they don't even know who the baby daddy is, but they got pregnant. So now you got two brothers, you got a brother and a sister that's out there that came from two different wombs. Now they meet up in high school and now they're dating. Oh man. Y'all think this is a joke? Y'all think that I'm lying? There's a story of this happening. There is multiple stories of this happening. There is multiple stories. You can go Google this. Of a brother and a sister that came from two different mothers, and they met up in school, got married, and had a baby, believe it or not. And they're brothers and sisters. Crazy stuff. Yeah, go look it up. Go look it up. And that's what's happening today. And the reason why that's happening today is because women don't understand the importance of seed and how serious this is. So when you have 3 baby daddies, understand that that man is out there impregnating other women. So all these kids that are growing up that you don't want to know about because your baby daddy is with you, but he left you. He's no longer with you, but he had children with you, but he also had children with 5 other women. So now all those children are out there being raised. So what are the odds of your children meeting up with those children in school? Y'all in the same neighborhood. I'm telling you, this is happening at a high scale right now, believe it or not. And people only learn about these things later in life when they try to find out about their daddy. Because in most cases, people don't care about the daddy because the mothers say the daddy ain't ish. So nobody ain't looking for the daddy. So consequently, we have a generation of a lot of people that are mixed mingling. Literally, we have brothers and sisters getting together nowadays. I'm telling you, this is happening right now in the Black community at an alarming rate. Yeah. Where you got dudes meeting up with women in the club thinking that, oh, she good. And you don't even realize that's your sister, bro. That's your sister. I'm telling you, bro. As crazy as that sound, that's what's happening. This is why you're supposed to know who's your father. This is why it goes back to the seed of the father. You see how that goes? Who's your father? Who's your father? That's like you met up with a sister, and rather than you trying to get it in, you're more like, what's your father's name? Who's your father? So if you're a brother and your last name is Marcus, and you meet up with a sister and her last name is Marcus, you're like, look, let me see the photo of your father. You'd be surprised how many people had this happen. You'd be surprised how many dudes. Let me tell you something, fam. Back in the day, I can recall, it was back in the day. It was something that went down. I was at some party, right? I'm at some party. It's some girl in the hall. I'm chatting it up with some girl, you know what I'm saying? I was just messing around with some girl. And you know what I'm saying? One thing led to another, and I'm kissing this girl in the hallway. And, you know what I'm saying? See, I'm keeping it 1,000 with you because I'm trying to make you understand how real this is. This is not no game. This is serious business, right? So I'm there in the hallway, blah, 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 boom, 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 boom. Next minute, the uncles and everybody come downstairs. They see me and the girl. Man, they one set of cussing. They cussing us out. That's your cousin! What are you doing? That's your cousin! Not no third cousin, not no second cousins, your cousin. You see that? From somewhere in the family that I just didn't know about. And for some odd reason, everybody came to the party, and I'm telling you, this happens, man. Listen, I know people that had babies with their cousin and didn't know. I'm serious, bro. I know a dude that was literally engaged to his sister and didn't even know it, bro. Serious. Because his father was out there in the streets doing his thing, and he met up with some young lady in college, and for whatever reason, the mom, and this is dangerous too, some mothers be bitter, and they don't put the last name of the father on the birth certificate. They put the name of, she put her name. So they never really known until they were getting their paperwork together and all that other stuff. Come to find out, they were brother and sister, y'all. It's like, what do you do after that? Like what, how do you even fix that? Like, what if y'all already got it in? How do you do this? And this is what I'm saying, man. I don't know why the show turned to this way, but I guess we had to do that, man, to make this more real, to show you what's going on, because this is what happens when you don't understand seed. But hey, I'm trying to make you understand the real. Hopefully people will learn something from this, man, but let's go.
It doesn't matter how much water you put into this cup. When you put bleach into that cup of water becomes one with that bleach.
Yep.
And that bleach will still do its job.
That's right. Because once that man plant the seed in the wife, the woman, the baby mama, the sneaky link, she take on his DNA, she bring forth life. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And the shirt with the bleach represents the bloodline. It's not the same as the mom. You took on the bloodline of your father. It's no different than if I took grape juice from one cup and poured it into water. It's going to turn into the same damn juice, period. It's going to turn into the same juice. Same juice. You understand? And that's bloodline. Pretty simple, right? So, hey, I hope everybody gained something from the stream. A lot of information, a lot of knowledge in these streams. It's very educational. You know, I hope everybody gained something from it. Right? Yeah, we will be back. I got to get me something to eat, do what I got to do. And we're going to continue on with some more shows. I just needed to make sure that people understand this issue so that you don't walk away blind and not knowing what's going on. So, yeah, man, this is a lot of information, man. So ladies, if you have kids by different men, understand that the kids are technically not brothers and sisters. They're not. If you want to call them that, you could continue to if you want. I'm just telling you that they're really not if they don't have the same father. They're not. They're just, you know, step brothers and sisters. You can say that. That's more reasonable. But to say that they are blood brothers and sisters, they're not. They don't have the same father. Shout out to everybody that hit the Cash App and supported the stream. Appreciate everybody that hit the Cash App. That's how you keep the lights on. That's how we get the computers, the microphones. That's how we keep having great content coming forward. Yeah, so appreciate everybody's support. Everybody that follow the messages, believe in the work that I do. That motivates and inspires me to continue to keep pushing, keep getting better and better at what I do. And you haven't seen the last of what I'm doing. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. I just want people to be educated to understand how this thing works. Again, if your pops, whatever your pops is, don't be ashamed of your pops. Your father gave you life, bro. Your father, his seed. If it wasn't for our fathers, we would not be here. We would not be here. So always honor your father, whether he's white, black, Asian, doesn't matter, Pakistan, I don't care what your father is. Always honor and respect your father and embrace your true culture. I'm not saying to deny your mom. That's not what I'm saying. Love your mom. embrace that side of the family, but recognize who you are. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying if you're a black man and your father is white that you can't get a certain style of haircut, that you need to perm your hair. Or it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying embrace who you are. Love your mom, love your dad. Embrace who you are. Don't take sides, but know your nationality come from your father. You know what I mean? So if you have a black mom and you want to learn her culture or whatever you want to call that, then learn it. But don't deny your father. Is that so simple to understand? Like, that's all I'm saying. Don't deny your father. That's all. So that being said, we will be back later. I will be on camera on the next stream. From time to time, I have to do off-camera streams and on-camera streams because that's just how I do my streams. Certain streams doesn't require me to be on camera. So y'all have a blessed one. It is 1:07 p.m. and I got to get something to eat. All right. So again, wherever you are in this world, know who you are by your bloodline. If you are a woman, man, and your pops is black, you're a black man. Whether you look like a white man, doesn't matter. If your pops is black, you're a black man. You're a black man that look Caucasian, right? That's just the facts. If you're a woman and your pops is Caucasian, you're Caucasian. There's no way around that. If your mom is black, your mom is black. That has nothing to do with you. Who you are is who your father is. That's all I'm saying. So you can't identify and say, well, I'm a black woman. That's disrespectful to your father. You know? And don't say you're mixed. Please get over that. Get over that mixed thing. There's no mixing. The only way you can be mixed is if your mom had relations with two men and the seeds mixed, which they don't. Now, there is a situation. I'm going to throw this out there now. Listen to me carefully. There is such a thing as a woman can get pregnant by two men. Oh, man. See, I was supposed to end the show. There is such a thing as a woman getting pregnant by two men. Yes, that is very possible. That happens. Yes, indeed, y'all. There's no such thing as mixing. That's not possible. But a woman can get pregnant by two men at the same time in terms of twins. There is record of that. Yes. Google it. Where a woman got impregnated by two men. These two men, I guess, had a threesome or whatever the case is. And she got impregnated by the two guys and had twins. But one looked like the one man and the other looked like the other man. I kid you not. Yeah. Crazy stuff, man. So there's no mixing. You only can have one seed. But there is such a thing as women getting pregnant by two men at the same time. Now, hey, I don't know, man, but if you Google that up, you'll see several women that happened to. This is crazy. But anyway, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get something to eat. I'm hungry right now. So y'all take care. I'll be back later with more. Ringo TV reaction. Peace to the mods. Peace to the chat. Be blessed out there. Stop being in your fifis. Everybody get out of your feelings. We're grown adults. Be an adult. Be water. Be water. You know what I'm saying? So I'll catch y'all all in the next stream. You know what I'm saying? Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Show Shao, Rebel for Almighty, V Dub Man, wherever you at. Sherelle, Sean Owens. You know what I'm saying? All of the mods in the building. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm going to get up on out of here. I'll catch you in the next stream. Ringo TV Reactions. I'm out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw.